when you start to see success in business, you start to get to the point where like your business like almost becomes part of you. And like when your business fails, it almost feels like you're a personal failure, but it's like totally separate. Like I can still be a great dad, a great husband. I could still live a great life, be a good person, separated from like the success of my business. I'd become so tied to the success that like when everything seemed like it was going to be lost, it was like super disheartening, almost on the verge of a mental breakdown, you know?
You spoke the very first day, you had a great speech in it. I think the title was From Collapse to Comeback. So I'm really looking forward to this interview.
With the Inflation Reduction Act being passed, there was just a surge in the whole industry. We were at our height at that point, like at $4.5 million a month in revenue. It's translated to an estimated like $3 billion in solar installs.
I thought the thing was never gonna stop. I'm like, man, this is gonna keep going, man.
We got such good results. Like it wasn't really a big risk for me, like taking the ad spend on a credit card. You know, when that happened, it was like, I'm talking to my CFO, like, are we really gonna go broke because people are just going out of business?
What went through your mind? Did you feel like a failure, or you let people down?
Yeah, I was just like, F this industry. Like I was just like, this industry's totally like corrupt.
At the end of the day, this is what it's about. It's about getting the fuck up. It's ups and downs, and success doesn't happen overnight. It's a fucking process. It takes decades, man, to get there, right? Guys, last day of Solarcon. This event has been fantastic. Yesterday was, man, we had Shark Tank guys. You were David Goggins. It was crazy, man. And we started out, we had Rich Feola here. He's a CEO of Solar Exclusive. He's an OG in the industry. He's a vet. And I'm really looking forward to this interview because, listen, everyone always talks about the glitz and glamour being a business owner, right? But there's a lot of ups and downs. I've had my ups and downs, man, especially solar. They call this thing the solar coaster, and it really is.
Right.
And I'm excited to talk with you, man. And you spoke the very first day. You had a great speech. And I think the title was From Collapse to Comeback, right? So yeah, I'm really eager to talk about this, and thank you for making the time to come to the show, man, to be on the LFG Show.
David, appreciate it.
Yeah,
so we're super stoked to be here at Solarcon. We've been the primary sponsor for the last 2 years, and yeah, we've been a sponsor ever since the first Solarcon 4 years ago, and it's been a wild ride. You know, with the Inflation Reduction Act being passed, there was just a surge in the whole industry. I distinctly remember that summer when the IRA was first passed, and it was just like everyone was selling.
That was 2022, right?
2022, yeah.
And there was such a euphoria, man. I went to RE Plus. That was actually the peak.
Yeah.
If you have to look back, that was the peak. I was there, and I was like so happy, man. I'm so glad I'm in solar. The stocks were hitting all-time highs. Enphase was like at 300. Everything was going right in solar. And then literally like 2 months later, everything hit the fan, man. Right?
Yeah. So there was a lot of like hype and everything going really well, and everyone was selling more, everyone was buying more leads. Like we were at our height at that point, like at $4.5 million a month in revenue. We worked with over 4,000 solar companies since 2017.
That's insane, man.
And generated over 7 million leads, and it's translated to an estimated like 3 billion in solar installs. If we estimate like based on like normal close ratios, it's been about 3 billion in sales, which is crazy. But like it's not all glitz and glamour, like you said. Like we had like, after like 2023 hit, interest rates started going up, you know, solar just started becoming less affordable for homeowners. And it really started with a glut in the install part of the business, and like people not getting paid, installs taking too long. And then like just started seeing like companies go under, sales started going down because of the interest rates. And like we weren't immune from that either. Like we had clients who, you know, we're spending 100 grand a month, 500 grand a month, some clients. And like, we saw them go down to like spending 10 grand, 20 grand a month because, you know, they just weren't seeing as many sales. So, you know, we saw a downturn, and it kind of hit a head in 2024 toward the end of the year, where we had a number of clients who went out of business, you know, normal course of business. They just couldn't adapt. They couldn't keep up. Like they weren't able to incorporate PPAs into their product suite, and they just went out of business. And some of these people, unfortunately, like they use American Express cards to like pay for their ad spend. And they decided, you know, oh, I'm going out of business. So in order to get cash, I'm just going to charge back my lead gen provider.
Oh, no.
So we had a number of clients who were clients for some of them years, and we have 5-star reviews from them. We have text messages, emails from them saying how many deals they'd closed, how successful they were. And like, then they just go back 12 months and charge back like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Amex transactions. And like, that's going to hurt any business, you know, like it's going to hurt cash flow. It's going to hurt your relationship with your payment processors. And like, we had to really like kind of restructure to basically get back afloat and like take care of like some of our longest standing clients. And so, you know, we shut down for a short period of time, and we took care of every single client. Every single client that was due a prorated refund received one. That's why we still have an A rating with the BBB, because we didn't like just be like, all right, well, we're shutting down for a month. Like, you're screwed out of all the money you spend. Like, we refunded every single client. It took care of every single client. And I hate when people say like, lead gen companies are scams, because we're like the exact antithesis of a scam if we're willing to give back money to everyone who didn't get the leads, right? But then like after a month, we restructured and just got back up and running. We have more clients than before, and we're just now positioning everything under our new AI software, which we're really excited about, which basically runs the ads for you. So we have clients pay into, paying us for leads for a period of time. And then after a 6 month to 12-month period, they get access to this AI software they can own. So they never have to pay another lead vendor ever again. And it's been going really well. Like, I remember staying up till 2 a.m. some nights, like optimizing ads in the beginning, because there's so much work that has to be done when you're managing an ad campaign. And I had a team of 10 guys all looking at different campaigns. At our height, we had like 600 clients. And like, when you only have 5 or 10 guys like managing 600 campaigns, you can only check on the campaigns like once every 2 or 3 or 4 days. But now with the AI, it can actually optimize the campaigns 24/7. So if it's seeing like, hey, these ads are underperforming at 2 o'clock in the morning, it'll change them out so that by 6 a.m. they're ready to go, and people are seeing new ads and they're following up. The leads are coming in, and it just like totally changed the game for us, because now we could lower our overhead, lower some of our staff. We have a lean team now, and we're able to get the same, if not better results. Like some of our lead costs were at like $60 a lead in California. Now they're down to like $12, $13.
This is like an online social media generated lead. Is that what it is? So, well, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so we saw the lead cost go from like $40 to $60 a lead down to like $10 to $20 a lead, like overnight with this AI system. Yeah. We just plug it in with our best ads, we plug it in with our best data, and it basically just takes it from there and just crushes it.
Well, listen, there's a lot to unpack there, and I mean, first of all, hats off to you. You guys are a massive name in the solar space, right? I started a company called Solar Direct Marketing in 2016. It's funny, I reached out to you when you were in Jersey. I think 2017, 2018. I was trying to maybe find out a way we could align, but then you moved to Vegas and we never got to meet, man. Then I wound up moving to Miami. But either way, listen, I was part of the solar coaster too. Similar circumstance happened to me where we were a rocket ship, man. We made Inc. 500 3 years in a row, buyout offers. I thought the thing was never going to stop, especially after the IRA. I'm like, man, this is going to keep going, man. I mean, I felt kind of invincible. I don't know if you felt the same way. I'm like, everything I did worked. And then what we did, I don't know if this happened to you, we just got kind of foolish in the sense that we see the top line coming in, right? And I mean, I think one year we spent like $600,000 on events, something stupid, man. Like, we didn't have to. We would bring 10, 15 people, like, and we could have done it much leaner, right? So for survival, I had to let go of a lot of people, man, not that long ago, man. And I freed up like $70,000 a month in overhead, and now we're lean and we're mean, but it was such an eye-opener to me. Like, I got punched in the fucking face, and I think as a business person, I feel like sharper than ever. I feel like I fucking fought Mike Tyson, man, and like he fucked me up, but I got back up, right? So I could imagine you. I think it was a little bit. I mean, you were obviously bigger than all. I think we did our top year. We did 30 million, right? And most of that was solar. You guys probably did like 50 million, right? But when that happened, I'm like, damn, man, because I know you guys were ramping up, but you put something online and you took care of your clients, you took care of your employees. I think that says a lot about you, and that's why you're able to come back here. Your reputation is intact, right? And you're being vulnerable about it. I mean, I think people they'd rather do business with a person that's vulnerable, that's gonna like not afraid to show the skeletons that happen, and you're still around, man. So I know I just said a lot, man, but I appreciate it, man, that you're willing to talk about their audience, because people need to hear this stuff, man. Business is like, it's not all this, man. You got this, you got this, you got that, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was definitely tough to like have the conversation with my CFO and be like, because of these clients like charging back their ad spend, because like the thing is with ad spend, like we just wanted to make it convenient for clients because we got such good results. Like it wasn't really a big risk for me, like taking the ad spend on a credit card. Most agencies wouldn't take the ad spend on a credit card because once that money comes in on the credit card, we spend it on the ads. So like when someone charges back $100,000 in ad spend, like that $100,000 has already been spent by us on Google or Facebook or wherever. And so when you have $100,000, you spend it, you collect it on a credit card, then you spend it, then they take the $100,000 back. Now you're down $200,000 because you spent the first $100,000. and they take back 100K. So, and it hurts cash flow. So, you know, when that happened, it was like, I was talking to my CFO, like, are we really going to go broke because people are just going out of business and they're doing a cash grab? Like, it's literally fraud. So we had to sue a bunch of clients and we ended up winning. We got some of the money back. That's why we had to shut down for a period of time, just to like get that money back and then operate again. But, you know, it was a wild ride. And I was just kind of like open and honest with people, like, hey, look, like this industry is like, it's messed up. Like there's salespeople ripping people off, signing up 90-year-old, you know, old ladies who don't even know what they're signing. You know, there's clients who, you know, we found out about, we cut ties with them. They were getting paid the SREC money in Illinois and they weren't paying it to the homeowners. They were just using it to like fund their expenses.
Yeah.
And we had another client, the district attorney of Tennessee, like stormed their office and like confiscated all their computers because they were doing shady stuff. They were selling fake panels and fake inverters. It's just wild stuff that happens in this industry that you don't really know that you've been a part of it. So like it was just like really like yanking on my heartstrings, and I was just like made an announcement, just like, well, this industry needs to change. Like this industry needs to like get its act together, and like you can't be like, the industry is only as good as the people that are in it. And if most of the people in the solar industry are thieves and crooks and don't pay people, like I wanted to show that we're going to be different. So, you know, I made an offer to a bunch of my employees, paid them severance, made, you know, had the ability to refund every single client that was wronged with like this whole situation that happened because of clients that stole money. And like now we're back better than ever and we're, you know, thriving. So it's great.
There's a new endeavor called Roofs in the Box. It's just, man, from day one, it's taken off.
When I first started getting into the roofing industry, what was happening was my fixed costs were always there. And so for me, I was looking at how can we kind of, one, save on these costs, and then two, how do I not lay people off during down times? But also maybe even the ability to pocket more money during the slow season or even the peak season. Since we've done this before, like with our lead gen companies where we have virtual staffing and from Argentina or Colombia, I'm like, why don't we do the same thing in the construction business? Now, once we figured it out, so we reduced their fixed cost by 70%. And so now during the downtime, they have real seasoned veteran type of players, but during the uptime, they pocket 70% of their operational costs are now going back in their pocket. And then when it's time to scale, they have the back end prepared, already ready to go to help them like lift off. Depending on what state you're in, you're averaging about 12.5% on what you pay out on taxes, insurance, FICA, all the different insurances that you have to pay out, right? So yeah, you don't have to pay out unemployment, you don't have to pay out FICA insurance, Medicare, Social Security, the things that business owners have to eat.
Roofs in the Box is not just limited to roofing or home improvement companies.
You can use it for any services, right? You can use it for IT. We use them internally for data sales, for hygiene, for analytics. It doesn't even matter what the vertical is.
It's like business in the box at the end of the day.
Pretty much, yeah.
So let's go into that moment. Like what the first day, I had something similar happen to me, not to your scale, but I had a freaking jerk off. He's from Jersey, you know the jerk off term, right? But this jerk off, long crazy story, man. Now, I was in Israel with my family in Tel Aviv, right? And the guy got ahead of us 225 grand. Somehow he's like a serial scammer. He scammed people over $1 million in the industry, right? Wow. I found out too late, but I was able to get back 150,000 back from the guy somehow, man. People were amazed I was able to do it. And my last day in Israel, my family, I had like 4 hours left. We're just enjoying a nice meal. My CFO calls me, Dave, we got a problem. I need you to get on with Bank of America. That guy, somehow he reversed an ACH. He made a payment to us like in December of 2022 for 23 grand. The last payment we got from him, he somehow reversed the freaking ACH. There's like a 90-day period of time you can do that, right? And like the 89th day, he did it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then the bank had to talk to me. I had to do weird like international stuff. And I was, how the hell is this possible? I didn't know you could reverse. I don't know if you knew they could do what they did with Amex. I didn't know you could do that up to a year. But it's crazy the stuff that you can do. So I never got that damn money back. And I was just so pissed. Not even about the money, about my last few hours in Israel, my family. You know, we're business owners, right? And like we're always hustling, whatever. I feel like it never stops in our head with the business. So I'm finally I had such a great time. This guy like freaking ruined my time, but it was like 23 G's, and I was so freaking pissed. I'm on the plane trying to figure this crap out, man. But like, what went on in your mind? Like the first time that happened, how much was it? And like, what was going on in your mind? It was like almost like you got attacked, I imagine, right? Like,
yeah, it was just like, I mean, it's just like a kick in the stomach. You know, it's just like you deliver like results for clients too. And the craziest part about it was that this client like sent us emails like, here's how many deals I've closed. Like, thanks so much. Like, he was like appreciative. Like I mean, I feel for the guy. Like maybe, yeah, he went through a tough time. Maybe he got burned by his installer. Maybe he got burned by the finance company. Maybe he had his pipeline pulled or something. That's still not a legitimate reason to like go and commit fraud and steal from the hand that fed you all those deals, you know? So it was just like, it was terrible. Sorry for the noise in the background. We have our punching bag. We're giving away a Tag Air watch, giving away a solar exclusive watch.
Great. He's great brander too. We'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah.
So we're giving away a solar exclusive watch, and they're pounding the punching bag trying to get the high score. But yeah, so it sucks when you first hear about that. Like, and honestly, like I had peace of when it happened. Like I really did. Like I was just like, all right, well, there's nothing I can do to change this. I just got to fight it, you know? And it took, you know, a few months to go back and forth with the credit card companies, and we won some of the money back from Amex, but Amex,
what percentage do you get back?
we got 50% back.
How much was that? A few $100,000 or?
Yeah. And then we had to sue the guys for the rest. So we ended up winning the lawsuit. Now we're chasing down money. Like it's like, now we have to wait to like collect it, you know? And so it sucks, but you know, you don't expect those things, you know? And it really has to do with the industry in general. Like the industry's just had a downturn, and
A massive downturn.
yeah, a massive downturn. And it's like, you know, everyone's experiencing that wave. You know, you experience the wave up, you experience the wave down too. And, you know, it's happening across the board. Like credit card processors right now are experiencing this across the board in this economy right now. People are just stealing back credit card payments all over the place. So it's been an epidemic, not only just in the solar industry, but in really any industry impacted by this economy. And it sucks for the business owners because we're the ones that get stuck with the bill.
Yeah, it does. How do you, as before I ask you this question, so you decided to shut down Solar Exclusive, right? Regroup. Like what went on in your mind? Did you, because you have a family, right?
Yeah.
And that, I think that's what, if you're like single, you don't have a wife, you don't have a kid, it's a different story, right? I think you can be like a little bit more, I don't know, like, I don't want to say reckless, more brazen, like you're more willing to take some crazy risks, right? But when you have kids, you have to think about your kids, especially at the age we're at and stuff. But what went through your mind? Did you feel like a failure, or you let people down? I mean, I'm just curious because, you know, when I went through what I went through, I was like, damn, man, I felt like an idiot. I'm like, how the hell did I not see this coming? And, you know, I beat myself up for a little bit, right? But I'm like, yeah. I had to stop because I'm this doesn't help me. It's like with a like, the mindset wasn't good for me, man. But I went through it for like a few days, I don't know, maybe a week or so. I'm like, fuck it, I gotta stop. Did you go through something similar? Or what was going through your mind when you're like, damn, I gotta shut the doors?
Yeah, I was just like, F this industry. Like I was just like, this industry's totally like corrupt. I was like I wouldn't be surprised if like there's like federal agencies, Department of Justice, like investigating this industry because there's so much shady stuff that goes on. It's like the wild, wild west, you know? And I was like, do I even want to be part of this industry anymore? Do I even really want to be attached to it, you know? And I had to just come to terms with the fact that like, I'm not responsible for like the misdeeds of the industry. We've always done things by the book. We've spent every single dollar that a client spends in advertising. We've never stolen anything from any client. We've never ripped off a client. We've always taken care of clients, especially clients that felt like they got burned or maybe like we made a mistake. Like we've always refunded them. Like, that's why we have an A rating with the BBB. Like, there's some lead gen companies, you know, even here at this conference, that have an F rating with the BBB. They just don't even respond to, like, the complaints that people have. Like, we've always responded to people. We've always taken care of people. We've always resolved their complaints. And that's why we're still standing, you know? And I just had to kind of come to the terms with the fact that, you know, I'm not the industry. Like, even though the industry is messed up, like, I can still provide a great service. I can still do things ethically and honestly and still be separated from, you know, the negatives of this industry. But like, yeah, it definitely felt like, hey, like I failed my family, I failed my team, I failed everyone. But at the end of the day, I just had to come to realize that like, there's a lot of stuff out of my control here. Can't control the equity markets, can't control the downturn of installations, timelines and stuff like that, people getting overwhelmed. Like we had a deal for $50 million to get bought out just a couple years ago, and it fell through because they were reviewing the install timelines of the industry. They said like, hey, we were a week away from closing. I was going to walk away with a $50 million check. And they were like, you know what? Like we started to hear some things about installs being delayed. And
when was this exactly? What was the timeline that this happened?
This was like January 2023.
Wow. We had buyout offers 22 million, 30 million, very similar. We actually signed the agreements. Yeah, I think we signed in March 2023. No, February 2023. We're 2 months into it. Solar went to shit. Valuation went down 40%. Like, we're not fucking doing this anymore. Yeah, but it was like
You
simple
started
fact.
the LOI process in 2023. I started the LOI process in 2022. I was at the closing table, and they were like, "Hey, like we're starting to see some stuff happening in the industry with the install timelines. Like we want to pull out."
Yeah.
And like some attorneys recommended they pull out. It was a private equity firm, and like it just fell through. And yeah, sometimes you start to overthink. You start to think like, "Hey, like, like why God? Like why did this happen? But like everything happens for a reason. Like maybe I would have like totally turned into a terrible person if I had $50 million. Maybe I would have corrupted my soul and like ruined my family, and done something even worse, something stupid with that money or something, So, I look at it as a blessing in disguise, like we're still in it and we serve other industries too. Like it's not just like we're in solar. Like solar, yeah, it's our biggest brand, but we have other brands too, like roofing exclusive. We do life insurance exclusive, water treatment. We're in all different home service industries. So, the fact is like what I want to do is expand into more just advertising in general. So I've been doing advertising coaching for a lot of coaching students of mine, coaching them on their ad agencies. And like if this AI software really blows up, like we could probably do it in any industry and just provide a software that runs ads through AI. Because I think a lot of these ad agencies are going to be like disintegrated once AI really starts to adapt.
100%. I agree with that. I love the pivot you made, And so when did you decide like, fuck it, I got to get out the mud, get up and pivot? And what was like that epiphany that said, I'm going to pivot into the AI?
Yeah, so over the last several months before like this whole thing happened with the credit cards and the temporary shutdown, it was I had been speaking with one of previous contacts at Google, because we had a team at Google that helped us with our ads and stuff because we were spending so much. And this guy started building this AI platform for advertising to connect straight with Google, connect straight with Facebook. And so I started looking into this platform, and then I trained it based upon my marketing mind, like our best performing ads, our best performing results, like how I like to write ad copy, the types of creatives I like to create. And we programmed this guy's system and like built it out for us. And now we can duplicate it in any solar business. So it integrates directly with Go High Level. And you literally have a menu on there where you can run all your ads right from there, and it'll optimize the ads 24/7 for you. It does all the work that an ad agency would do. You just have to feed it all the right data. So we have all the data that we fed it. We have all the creative intel that we fed it. Now it just like it's like a superhero agency of AI, just like doing the work for you.
Yeah, and you talked about this on stage. You have so much. You spend tens of millions of dollars, right? And you have all this data that you feed into the AI, right? And it'll do the work, the heavy lifting for you, and spit out
because like
best campaigns.
A lot of people think, oh, I'm just gonna get ChatGPT. It'll write an ad for me. It'll tell me how to run YouTube ads. It'll tell me how to run Facebook ads. Yeah, you could do that. I had a conversation with a guy who did the same thing. He was like a 21-year-old kid. He's like, I'm going to study every single thing ChatGPT says about YouTube ads. I'm going to study every single thing about how to get leads with solar. And he spent $8,000 and got 2 appointments. You could study everything ChatGPT does. ChatGPT could spit out ads for you. But if you don't have the data being fed into it, it's not really going to change your life. Like AI is very powerful when you feed it the right prompts, right? Like it has everything to do with the prompt. So like if you feed it the data and you feed it the information that has already gotten results. Like we've generated 7 million leads before AI. So how do we generate those 7 million leads? Well, it was all these parameters, all these factors, all these creative techniques. So we fed that into the AI, and now it just like took it to the next level.
When I first heard of roofs in a box, I thought, no way could everything be combined in one platform, from your CRM to AI to even virtual assistant helping manage all these things together. It has completely changed my business, and I couldn't be where I'm at without it. So over the last 8 months or so, I've saved at least $1 million on what it would cost salary-wise to hire the engineer. I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done without roofs in a box, or be able to do what I am currently doing without roofs in a box. If you are looking to scale, get your business organized, or get it ready to sell, definitely want to give Roofs in a Box a call. They'll get everything tightened up, get you set up to do whatever you need to do for a fraction of the cost. Not everybody's got $1 million just laying around. Hire operations managers and have their own call center. So give Roofs in a Box a call, they'll get it taken care of.
That's awesome. I love it, man.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to one thing. You'll appreciate this. So going back to the buyouts, right? I mean, I remember that was similar. I'm like, man, I got this check coming. This is crazy. Like, it got real, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
damn. At first, I'm like, this isn't going to happen. I'm like, fuck this. It's not going to happen. This is bullshit. Then it got real. So I'm like, man, what am I going to, I started going to masterminds about where to put your money. Like, I wasn't going to buy Lamborghinis, anything flashy. I was going to reinvest the money, maybe acquire other companies, man. And then when it fell through, I had like, fuck, it was like another punch in the gut, right? So anyway, I went to a mastermind with this guy named Eric Spofford. I don't know if you know him. He's in Florida. He had a lot of drug rehab centers in the Northeast. But he had a similar situation where twice he had buyout offers of $45 million and crazy stuff happened at the very last minute. Like his CFO goes on a bender. Like the guy's sober for like 5 years, goes on a crazy bender, is on the news, ruins the reputation of the company. People pull out, kind of like what happened when they saw his Solarcon. Like, I'm done. The guy's revenue goes down like 70%. He has to go back selling again. 2 years later, man, he sold his company for $115 million.
Wow.
So I saw the guy, I'm like, wow, that made me feel great because I'm like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason, right? I mean, he would have been happy with $45 million, right? Don't get me wrong, but he got back in the grind, restructured stuff, and then boom, 2-3 years later, $115 million. So it's like, it's what you do during that adversity, right? That guy's been sober 20 years. He could have got back into drugs. He could have done whatever, just given up, right? But he's like, what am I going to do? I got to get the fuck up. I got to feed my family. And he came back stronger, man. And the guy's crushing it, man. So yeah, that gave me made me feel good, right? And hearing your story, I mean, this is what entrepreneurs need to hear, man. It's just not this. We especially with social media, it's so jaded. You see these guys living this crazy life. We get to portray like whatever we want to portray, right? But at the end of the day, this is what it's about. It's about getting the fuck up. It's ups and downs. And all these successful people, even Brett Freedom talked about yesterday, it doesn't happen. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's a fucking process. It takes decades, man, to get there, right? So I love what you do. I think that that's why I was excited to get you on the show, man.
Yeah, for sure. And it was like kind of like when it rains, it pours kind of situation. Cause like right at the same time that this was all happening, where like clients stole money from us and like we had to shut down, there were 2 major fires in Malibu. And like I have a 13,000 square foot house in Malibu. It's like my beach house. Like it's my baby. Like I throw company events there. I throw, coaching events there. And like, I know that like insurance only pays like 70 cents on the dollar. Like if I lost this house, it would have been a double gut punch, you know? But thank God, like the house was preserved by the fire. And like, there was literally a fire in December. I mean, there was a fire in January.
Man.
January was a lot worse, but like literally almost lost my house in Malibu. And like, yeah, like first world problems, but like that happening along with like everything in the business, like, like it's easy to like lose sight of like what really matters in life, and like get so absorbed with like the wealth and like the success and all those things. And like when you start to see success in business, you start to get to the point where like your business like almost becomes part of you. And like when your business fails, it almost feels like you're a personal failure, but it's like totally separate. Like I can still be a great dad, a great husband, a great, Christian. I could still live a great life and like give to the needy and care for charitable causes and like be a good person separated from like the success of my business, And I had to come to like realize that because I'd become so tied to the success that like when everything seemed like it was going to be lost, like my business was, potentially at the verge of ruin. My Malibu house, which was like one of my largest investments, is potentially going to get ruined. Like it was like super disheartening and like almost on the verge of a mental breakdown, So like, thankfully it's all working out. Like we've listed the house now in Malibu. Like I just want to get rid of it. I'm worried there's going to be a third fire. Like next
Dude, I don't blame you, man. Yeah.
So like we're listing that house and, everything's going to be fine. But, you got to remember there's going to be adversity in business and just how you react to that, how you pivot, how you adapt.
When did you come to that realization? Because I think a lot of, and you've been in business, how long have you been in business? 8 years, 9 years? Yeah, similar to me. So when did you come to that realization that you have to separate the two? Because I think that's happened to me too, and I've gotten better at it. I think with me, I don't know if it's age or what it is. Maybe the adversity, man, or maybe getting punched so many times. Or like, you got to separate it, right? But when did it like you realize like I got to switch this mentality?
Yeah, it happened like probably like a good 2 years ago. Like I converted to Greek Orthodox, so I'm Eastern Orthodox Christian now, and like it really helped me like get in line in my spiritual life. And but even when all this happened over the last 6 months, like it kind of really showed me like there was still a lot of that left in me. There was still a lot of like this, like me and the business were like intertwined, because like for a lot of business owners, like your business kind of becomes your mistress,
Yeah.
It like becomes your baby. And like now like I feel like there's a healthy separation between life and work, and that wasn't always there. But that process started like 2 years ago when I started exploring my faith in a deeper way.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
You talk about that. It's great. So AI, right? I go to a lot of these shows. I travel. I was in Dubai. What was it? 2 months ago for Affiliate World. I moderated a panel, and a friend of mine he's big into AI. Guy does stupid volume, man, like 9 figures a year and pay-per-call, like no home improvement stuff, like more insurance kind of stuff. Anyway, he was saying like if you don't adapt, if you don't start implementing AI right now, everyone here, you guys are gonna be out of business. 90% of you, right? It's evolving so fast. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I don't know about 90%, but I think it's definitely going to help businesses win versus other businesses lose. There might be some businesses that like continue to run, but they just don't thrive, right? Like I think that the companies that successfully implement AI are going to thrive, and the companies that don't successfully implement AI are not going to thrive. So I don't think it's a matter of like survival necessarily, but I think it's a matter of success for sure.
So going back to your product, right? What's the main from hearing what you're providing for the solar companies, home improvement companies? You're essentially helping them reduce the cost of acquisition dramatically, right? I mean, if they're used to spending, like you mentioned California, I know California solar leads are way through the roof,
Yeah,
right?
people pay like $90 to $110 for an exclusive lead in California and solar. And like, we're able to generate them for like $12, $13, $14, $15. And like, yeah, we charge a fee on top of that. So it usually becomes like 20, 25, $30 a lead. But like, still, you can't really beat that compared to, paying $90 to $110 a lead. Like the cost per acquisition is going to be drastically lower for like people who use us versus like some of these traditional lead vendors.
Got it. So it produces the leads for them. Their call center has to contact the lead or their inside sales team, or do you?
And we're also implementing like an AI dialer now.
Okay.
We're still testing it out, but just for an extra fee, you can have AI dial all the leads for you.
Yeah, because I see that's we have very different business model from what I understand. I mean, I remember we talked about this a while ago. When I did a solar direct, I would go after like the whales. I'd go after the freedoms, the momentum solars. Right? I'd want the guys, and we were just talking about some of my home improvement clients, like the people that spend multiple 6 figures a month, right, or 7 figures a month on leads. Whereas you, it seemed like you were all inclusive, and that's why you were able to like when I hear 4,000, that's amazing. You seem like you probably penetrated a good chunk, like 60-70% of the whole solar market, which my hat's off to you, man.
Yeah,
so,
we work with a lot of the sales orgs. The sales orgs were our clients. Like you went after the big installers.
yeah.
We went after the sales orgs, the medium-sized sales orgs.
Mhm.
So sales orgs who are doing 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 deals a month, like they often work with like 3, 4, 5 different lead vendors.
Mm.
So, there was a point where at our height, like, yeah, a lot of sales orgs were using us,
No, you're everywhere.
as
Yeah.
one of their lead vendors. Yeah. So
And let me, you know what? One thing that you were good at, and you could tell by your booth over here, man. This booth, I remember the first Solarcon I went to. I didn't go to the very first one. I went to the second one, and I think it was in Salt Lake. And you had a big. You walk in here, look, you see Solar Exclusive, right? You got the van. The branding is so important. You're all over social media, and I remember one thing you did, which I liked, and I think I do these masterminds now. And I think I got this from you too. You would get the installers. You'd have like a big party, whether it's a Malibu or you rent out a place, and you'd get them all together under one roof, right? And I thought that was genius, man, because they'd get to network, they get to talk to each other, you'd provide value, and then at the end of the day, they do business with you, right? So can you talk about that? Because that's not, it's cheap to do something like that, right? But
yeah,
it's an ROI you get. But you were the first one I actually saw do that in this industry, and that was like maybe 2018, 2019. You started doing that stuff.
yeah. So it was actually 2020, but I wonder sometimes if Jake was inspired for Solarcon by some of our events that we did originally.
Mm.
So I remember meeting Jake Hess at our event in San Diego. Like it was literally in the middle of COVID. We rented out a corner, like event hall downtown San Diego, right next to Petco Stadium, right next to the Padres ballpark. And literally there were like 3-story high windows you could see in. And it was in the middle of COVID. So like literally our event team put up drapes to like block the cops from being able to see out. You were like,
Yeah, I remember it was dark in there, but it was nice. It was like it looked kind of sleek, like a lounge or something, man.
yeah.
I didn't know that was a reason behind that. Wow.
Yeah, because it was the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And so like you didn't see any of like San Diego from the windows because it would have looked sick if like you saw San Diego outside the windows.
Yeah.
But like we had to drape everything because there was literally no one in the streets. It was like the middle of COVID. So you know, we had people bring masks and stuff, but like everyone was taking their masks off. We were like, this is the first time we've gotten together. So it was like more been like just like getting the solar companies together, but it was also the fact that it was in the middle of COVID, and they're just like, man, it just feels so good to get together because we haven't been together in like 6 months. I've been able to be with more than 2 or 3 people at a time, and like it was just like that coupled with like getting all the solar companies together, like. And I spoke, and we just did an open bar. It was like a wedding. We basically just threw a wedding for the solar industry. And like we did a bunch of those events, and it worked really well. Like we would get a ton of clients, and people would network. And yeah, it was like, yeah, you're right. 2019, 2020, 2020.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. I'm like, wow, that's amazing, right? And I think a lot of people, it's not even like rocket science, right? But I don't know why I didn't do something like that. I do masterminds with media buyers and stuff, but that was really genius of you to do it. And again, you speak at all these shows, right? And I think that personal brand, you're positioned as an expert. And I think a lot of people at media buyers, they lose sight of that, right? They don't get out there, get outside your comfort zone, do some social media content, go on podcasts, do stuff like to talk about your vulnerability, the good, the bad, and people relate to you, right? And they're willing to do business with you because they trust you, I think, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, Dave. I really appreciate it.
No, I'm glad. I mean, this is what it's about. It's not all about this. Like I said, it's a journey, right? Life is a journey, right? Not everything goes straight up, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to learn anything about Solar Exclusive, feel free to check out solarexclusive.com. Check out our website. You can learn about our AI software, get a demo, and we'd love to help you out. If you're a solar company, roofing company, any home service-based company, life insurance, we can do it all for lead gen. So I know Dave has got a rock solid lead gen operation too. So definitely check him out as well, and work with him, and yeah, looking forward to see how you grow your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Follow him on IG. We'll put your social, all your stuff on there.
Yeah.
Success leads clues, everybody. Rich has been killing it for a long time. Massive on billions of dollars in solar installs. It's pretty impressive, man. So
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you on the show, man. Let's fucking go, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Get ready to level your shit up with the LFG Show. We travel the globe to bring you heavy hitters from all walks of life. We've been talking some serious business, from the best digital marketers, government contracting experts, to top athletic and celebrity doctors. We've got it all covered. We're talking to guys who've cashed in for billions with a B. And the best thing is, we're just getting started. So hold on tight. We're about to crank it up a notch. Get ready for next level networking and masterminds within the LFG community. Scared money don't make no money or honey. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's fucking go.